The number of young single men in America is at a record high.
I'm going to be single forever.
A third of men, 33%, a little over a third, of men between the ages of 18 and 29 are not only single, but they're not actively looking for a partner.
No man wants me to be his girlfriend!
So it's been brought to my attention that men no longer want to come up to women anymore.
What happened to men pursuing girls?
I'm 19 years old. I've never had a boyfriend, but what I do have is a 30-page list full of qualifications and standards said person has to meet.
Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to look at why so many young men are choosing to remain single. Now, if you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and join the squad. Let's get into it.
Surprise! The number of young single men in America is at a record high. This is why. According to Pew Research data that was released this week, a staggering 63% of men in their 20s are single, which is almost double that of women.
63% is a high number. I mean, let's look at it this way. If you had a 63% chance of getting struck by a vehicle the second you stepped outside your door, I can guarantee you'd be sitting home that day. But why is it? Why are so many young men, this says from 18 to 29, choosing to remain single? Are they finally waking up? Are they getting tired of trying to reach these arbitrary standards that are just skyrocketing and just super high set by women? Or is this the average guy getting pushed aside? Seems to me that men are just fed up.
I'm going to be single forever. I just realized that, man. I'm going to be single forever. And I'll say that, and some people are like, that's sad. It's not sad. It's reality, bruh. I'm going to be single forever.
That sounds like a man that just went on a string of bad dates. Now, if you're not familiar with him, he is a very hilarious comedian. And within the past 4 or 5 years, he is really coming to his own. And by that, I mean he is getting that coin. He is breaking the bank. He is making money. Now, you're talking about a man that can make you laugh. Remember, all guys had to be funny. Man that can make you laugh, and he's got coins in his pocket. And he's talking about, I'm going to be single forever. He is fed up. You know the average man is in trouble then, right?
A third of men, 33%, a little over a third, of men between the ages of 18 and 29 are not only single, but they're not actively looking for a partner. So I've got a question for the men. So my comments are filled with guys saying we're done. We're not looking. We like our peace. I need some more talk from you guys. Tell me why you're done.
You know, I'm seeing more and more of these videos, and honestly, it makes me sad because guys have told women why. We've made it very clear why we're walking away. And we're walking away in droves, and it's only going to get worse because you're not hearing why we're walking away. It's very simple. Don't read between the lines. Hear these words. There is absolutely no benefit anymore to being in a relationship with a woman for a man. None. Zero. Zilch. Especially when you consider the risk compared to any potential reward. Roughly 55% of marriages end in divorce and the guy loses everything. Add into it all the relationships where they weren't married and the guy lost access to his kids and had to pay mountains of child support and so on. When you really look at it, there's less than a 1 in 4 chance of having a successful relationship. Would you risk everything you have? Would you risk your children and having access to them, knowing you only had a 25% chance of success? I doubt it. Add to it the expectations that today's women have are beyond absurd. We all joke about the sixes, but the reality is that is most women's expectation. You expect men to give, and offer nothing in return. I'm not saying any of this to be mean, but I am being blunt in hopes you'll hear it. Because we've said it over and over and over again. And yet, you're still asking us, why are you walking away? That, in a nutshell, is the crux of the problem. You ask us, but you don't want to hear the response. And if you hear it, you don't want to accept it. My honest advice to you ladies is this. Get a mirror, look in it, and ask yourself, what are we offering to men? Why should men want to be with us? And if your answer is things like you have a great career or job, or that you're going to cook and clean, None of that matters to us. Not in the least. What matters to us? Peace, loyalty, and acknowledgement. Something very, very few women give to their man. And until you're willing to give that, until you're willing to set aside your ridiculous expectations, those numbers you mentioned are only going to get worse.
How is it that I look like this today, yet no man wants me to be his girlfriend?
Is this a serious question? Because women just went from saying they rather pick a bear over a man. So why the hell would men approach you? Or even look in your direction? But not only that, so many women have taught men over the years that all men are predatorial, so the good men of the world gave up. And it's so funny because women will constantly say that men don't listen, but now that men are listening, y'all are wondering where the good guys are at, why they don't approach you anymore, and why men are just simply not interested. And why the hell would they be interested? They don't know if they're going to be the next subject of all men are trash content on social media. They don't know if they're going to be accused of doing something they didn't do. They don't know if they're going to be used for dates. They don't know if they're going to be manipulated and then called a narcissist. And in this particular video, she's also asking why didn't they approach her because she looks the way that she looks. But the bottom line is most women are basic. There's nothing special to them. We all look the freaking same. So yeah, you actually have to come with more than just your looks. You actually need a personality nowadays too. Okay, bye.
Use regular. And let's just assume that she actually brought her A game that day and she was looking good. We all know the saying, what looks good doesn't mean it's good for you. And guys are waking up and we're beginning to realize and recognize when somebody has the crazy eyes. Because she sure enough spazzed out right at the end. And if you think that was an isolated event, I got some swampland for sale for you.
So it's been brought to my attention that men no longer want to come up to women anymore. Due to sex allegations, women being just so rude and disrespectful, and rejection. I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know men didn't want to come up to women anymore. I'm barely finding this out. Why do women choose to cuss guys out when they come up to them and approach them? I have no idea. I apologize for that. But there's just too many fine men. And if it takes me, the women, having to come up to you guys and shooting my shot, saying what's up, being the big stepper, then I'll just have to do that. And I'm gonna just start coming up to you guys and shooting out compliments and see where it takes me. So if I start coming up to y'all in the grocery store and I say, excuse me, sir, you are just so sexy, I want a response. Okay, I don't want none of that shy stuff.
It's a new day and age. You might as well go ahead and get used to it, fellas. Or is it a red flag when a woman approaches you? Is that a turnoff? Is that a no-no? Would you then exchange numbers and then start to pursue her if you see interest? Or is that just somebody you're not going to mess with? I mean, hey, come on, man. You've been hitting the gym. You got your pockets right. Your swag is on. You made all the honey. Now the bees are coming. And I realize that bees make the honey. It's just an analogy. Roll with it, all right? I'm just saying, be ready when they run up on you.
What happened to men pursuing girls? When was the pivotal moment that a man chose to not go after a girl anymore or put in any effort? It seems like guys can just put the bare minimum and not even really put in effort anymore. They don't really care to. Or they're like, why don't girls just go and make the first move and make the effort? When did it become a thing? Now it's like role reversal where they expect girls to be making the first moves, yearning for a guy and chasing him. That is, I feel like, the downfall of why it's so hard to meet someone, because men don't put in effort anymore or don't care to put in effort. And a relationship won't work unless the guy likes the girl just a tiny little bit more. He has to like her just the tiniest bit more for it to work in the long haul. So it would make sense if a guy really wanted to get to know you, that he would go leaps and bounds to get to know you. And when did that shift? Because back in my mom's era, if a guy wanted to take you out on a date, he had to go up to you, he had to get your number, he had to go through lengths to try to talk to you, even if you weren't interested at first.
Leaps and bounds. You're not interested and I'm going to be super persistent. Has she been sleeping under a rock? These days, you cannot be over aggressive. That is called harassment. You can't be persistent. Oh, he didn't even like me at first. He just kept on going. And now He has a restraining order on him and has broken it. And now he's locked up. That stuff just doesn't fly. You talking about now we have to go leaps and bounds? No wonder we're not interested. You're making us jump through all these hoops where I don't even know you yet. I don't even know if you're an interesting person that deserves all of these gifts and everything. And then when you do it, you meet somebody, you get excited, you throw little things their way. Now all of a sudden you're love bombing. Man, we can't win for nothing.
How my parents met? They met at a bar, and my dad asked for my mom to dance. My mom was like, "Get out of here." She wanted nothing to do with him. If he had just left and listened to her, they would have never gotten married. They would have never had kids. But he was persistent. He wanted to take her out on a date so badly. He was like, "What do I have to do to take you out on a date?" She was working late their first date, so he went to her work, picked her up, prepped a dinner, took her to a park. Just plan the whole thing.
Because if a man persisted like that in today's dating world, he would at the very least be called a creep. And at the worst, he'd be going to jail. That is the reality that a lot of men face. So that in combination with the fact that women are not really reciprocating effort and they're not treating men very well right now, there is a large group of men that are saying that it's just not worth it. And they would say that women have asked for it. They have asked men to leave them alone. So guess what, ladies? They're leaving you alone.
I'm 19 years old. I've never had a boyfriend, but what I do have is a 30-page list full of qualifications and standards said person has to meet.
All right, this girl made a video talking about her requirements to be her boyfriend. And the comments are absolutely ripping this girl apart because whatever she's asking for in this video is a little bit too much. So let's go through the video and let's see what is too much for these guys.
I can already tell by the tone of his voice, there's going to be a little bit of pandering going on. Let's hear this list.
First of all, I have to be attracted to the person.
Hey, number one, she has to be attracted to her partner. I know how ridiculous of this girl to want to be attracted to her partner, but I'm sure something more unreasonable is coming up throughout this video.
Clearly, he's going to cherry pick these things. So without any details, he's going to go ahead and jump in and say that, oh, you have to be attractive. But context is key. Yes, you want to be attracted to your partner or potential partner, but what does that mean for her? Is this guy going to be average height, average build, or is he going to be like some rock star looking dude that's over 6 feet?
I used to be super picky about height, but now as long as you're taller than me, I'm cool with it. I'm 5'4", so it's not that hard. But now you just gotta have a good, strong jawline and a sweet looking face.
Okay, so the guy needs to be above 5'5" and have a strong jawline. This is what we're complaining about, guys. See videos on TikTok where a girl's asking for a guy who makes $1 billion and is 7'4", but this is what we're getting upset about. Okay, maybe the video is gonna get more insane as we go on. Let's see what else she asked for.
For smiles, I am pretty picky. You gotta have a good smile. I don't know, it just, to me, it's a really big deal. And you also have to look clean. I don't know, hygiene is a huge thing for me. Must understand emotions, and I don't care if you're a little bit emotional too.
Okay, so he needs to have a good smile, shower regularly, and, understand emotions. This is something gonna happen that I'm supposed to be upset about here?
I want to be best friends. I want to be your best friend, and I want you to be my best friend. You have to match my obsession with the beach and...
Wow, now that one was totally uncalled for. She wants to have a friendship with her boyfriend. That's ridiculous. And he has to have a common interest of hers. Now, this girl's really getting unreasonable, guys.
To take things extremely slow, so you have to be willing to work with that. I need someone that has a very contagious laugh and that laughs a lot.
Her last two totally unreasonable requests are that he has a good laugh and that he just goes slow. If you think these standards are so high that this is an explanation for why she's been single for 19 years when that's literally a completely normal age to be single for, what do you expect her to do? Have a relationship when she's 4 years old? 100% more a reflection of the guys, because if you cannot meet at least 90% of that list, then I really don't know what to tell you. But I guarantee if you ask any of these guys, what would you like your girlfriend to look like? They'd all give some absolutely ridiculous comparison of what they want their girlfriend to look like. This girl said that she wants her boyfriend to smile, take showers, and just be a happy person. And guys are like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Dude, what fantasy world are you living in? To the girl in the video, don't take anything in the comment section seriously, because that was one of the most basic and normal requirements I've ever heard a girl ask for their partner on this app ever. Good for you. Wish you the best of luck.
This must be the new wave, right? He was pandering to her, but I felt like he was trying to talk to her through the apps in some type of manner, trying to get in contact with her. Hey, I got a good jawline and a kind face. The fact of the matter is there were 20 plus other things on the list. What were they? Right? Yes, the things that you cherry picked didn't really seem like that big of a deal. We can sit here and poke holes in it, but guess what? She's 19 years old. She's young. She can have a higher standard than most of the ladies, because I assume she doesn't have a kid right now. She's young. That's where most of her market value is going to lie. So she's got time. As long as she's not super rigid and holding on those things where it's too late and a man has to be 100% like this, she'll be all right. And we'll be all right if you hit that subscribe button on your way out.